KG Legal uzyskała zaproszenie do działu handlowego Ambasady Królestwa Norwegii w Warszawie. Na rozmowę zgodził się pan Kjell Arne Nielsen, radca handlowy ambasady. Rozmowa przynosi bardzo cenne informacje dla polskich przedsiębiorców. Dotyczy alternatywnych źródeł finansowania polskich projektów biznesowych w ramach kooperacji, współpracy z norweskimi partnerami biznesu. O innowacyjnych, norweskich źródłach finansowania polskich projektów biznesowych. O bardzo ciekawych, innowacyjnych modelach współpracy polskich przedsiębiorców z przedsiębiorcami norweskimi. Przede wszystkim o tym, jakich partnerów biznesowych poszukują norwescy przedsiębiorcy na rynku polskim. Zapraszamy Państwa serdecznie na rozmowę.
It's a real honor and pleasure to be the guest here today and have the opportunity to have a short interview with you, Mr. Nielsen. So could I ask you to address us with some information about generally your point of view on Norwegian-Polish business relations? What kind of tendency do you observe on the market? Is it increasing? In what direction? And what kind of businesses are in the center of interest for Norwegian investors, perhaps?
Currently, the business environment between Norway and Poland is very positive, and it's a growing bilateral trade. For Poland and Norway, Poland is becoming one of the top 10 trading partners. There is a small surplus for Poland towards Norway when it comes to export from Poland. However, that's more or less the same level. And totally, 2013, the bilateral trade was about 16.5 billion zloty, with a small surplus for Poland. We see that when it comes to Norwegian activity in Poland, the main activity is within outsourcing, industry production, and not least engineering for the maritime and offshore sector. So when it comes to the numbers of direct investments, Norway is not big in Poland. And this is due to the fact that we are more investing in people and workplaces than actually in hardware, if you can do that. We see also that Poland is investing quite heavily in Norway, and that is actually due to the activity on the Norwegian continental shelf. Pegning and Lotus is actually quite heavily involved in that sector, and currently I think they have 36 licenses, spanning from explorations to even operating.
If we talk about commerce and commercial relations, could you briefly focus on your function as commercial counsel?
Well, in Poland, I'm the commercial counsellor at the Norwegian Embassy, but in Norway, I'm more known as the head of Innovation Norway's office in Poland. As a representative for Innovation Norway, I'm helping Norwegian companies expanding their business and working for value creation in Norway. We are giving local ideas global opportunities. So Innovation Norway is a government agency. We own 51% by the government, Ministry of Trade and Fisheries, and 49% by the counties. So it's a wholly public entity. So our task here in Poland is mainly to help Norwegian businesses grow their business and create values in Norway. That means we help them with promoting their services or products. We are helping them with market scans, market reports. We are promoting Poland as a market in Yes, that's basically what we're doing. We do whatever it needs, what's needed in order to help the Norwegian companies succeed and grow in Norway.
If I understand correctly, you support Norwegian companies and promote Polish market for Norwegian companies.
Yeah.
But can Polish enterprises address this organization for some business partners, for example?
Well, to some extent, but we have to remember that our task is actually to help value creation in Norway. That means we are not helping, just to be clear on that, we are not helping Polish company of getting access to the Norwegian market. That is the Polish embassy's task in Norway. But of course, if there is any benefit of a Norwegian companies participating together with a Polish partner, that could be relevant. And we see that in, for example, could be in research and development and product development.
Could you brood more upon research and development? What kind of projects could be in the area of interest?
I maybe need to be a little bit specific here. We have a program in Norway, or Innovation Norway, called Industrial Research and Development. This is aimed to help small and medium-sized companies in Norway to succeed and to develop what the market asks for. One of the ways of doing this is actually to cooperate with a demanding customer. This demanding customer could be a Polish company or a Polish entity. And of course, then you could go into a contract or some sort of agreement between the Norwegian small and medium-sized company and the Polish partner. It could be a research institute, it could be a Polish hospital or a municipality, or it could be a Polish company. And they agree to do something together, develop something new, something unique into the market, and they also then have a plan for how they should commercialize and bring it into the market. And Innovation Norway will then give grants to the Norwegian partner, but indirectly that of course will influence also down to the Polish partner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So having in mind the new EU funds perspective for 2014 and 2020 for Poland, which is going to be a beneficiary in those funds, would you say that it could be a kind of new perspective for the cooperation that you have just mentioned? So if there is an idea within some academic or research centers in Poland and cooperation with Norwegian company in order to get such part of fund, would you say that Innovation Norway could be of help here?
What I can say is that in the current 5-year plan, Norway grants, which is actually part of the Norwegian contribution to the development of Poland, has many programs. Just saying that we have actually for the last 5 years contributed with about 570 million euros. And a small part of this has actually been allocated to help the businesses. This is the Green Industry Innovation, which is a quite specific program aimed towards Polish small and medium-sized companies. They will get grants within this program for greening their business. The call for application was actually closed in May, and we are actually now just looking into the outcome of the application process. And that program is particular in a way that you get, it's not mandatory, but you get extra points if you cooperate with a Norwegian institution or in Norwegian companies. Of course, then you talked about the next 5 years program. We don't know the outcome, how that will look like, but if there will be any continuation of this thinking about cooperating on the business level, not only on the government level, it could be interesting to see, but we just have to wait and see what's coming out.
If you could look at your experience in the previous program, what form of cooperation is it mostly?
Now, it's currently, if I just take Poland first, Norwegian companies in Poland, we have about 300 companies, or actually more correctly, Polish company with Norwegian owners. Of these, very many are just subsidiaries of their Norwegian mother companies. The Norwegian mother company are outsourcing some production or engineering services, for example. So very few of them are operating in the Polish market as such. When it comes to Polish companies in Norway, there are a lot of them. You have to remember that at any time, about 70,000-80,000 permanent Polish residents in Norway, when you are now the biggest foreign group in Norway, even bigger than the Swedes. And at any time, we believe that there is could be up to 140,000 Polish people, maybe more, working in Norway. And they are very active in the typical construction but in all parts of life in Norway, and they are very valuable workforce for Norway, and we would not survive without them. So you have them as welders in the shipyards, working at building sites. Polish people are coming in many sectors and in all parts of Norway.
And what kind of problems do Norwegian companies have in investing in Poland? Kind of legal nature, administrative nature, cultural, perhaps?
There's always some challenges, but in general, I would say it's very easy to operate. And the reason for that, the best proof of that is that we don't know about all the Norwegian activity in Poland. They just establish themselves and work, and they're very happy. And we also see that most of the Norwegian companies operating in Poland do not have Norwegians here at all. They're run by Polish people, and now it's regarded as very easy. Of course, we would like to see less bureaucracy to some extent, but it is foreseeable and it is transparent, and now it's regarded as quite easy to operate now.
All right. So all in all, you have a good impression on this cooperation.
Definitely,
we might say.
yes.
All right.
Yeah. The challenge is it could be when you are trying to entering into the market, especially if you're going into public procurement processes, because very often Norwegian companies are providing high-end solutions with focusing on the total cost of ownership, not necessarily investment cost, where the procurement organization are very often just looking at the investment cost, initial investment cost. For us, that could in some cases be a challenge. The procurement organization primarily look at the cost of investment, and are to less extent taking into the evaluation the quality or the efficiency, the maintenance cost, and the general quality of the solution they are provided.
So cost effectiveness above all.
Yes, and that is sometimes a little bit difficult, or could be regarded as difficult to assess. So when that's regarded as difficult to assess, they only go back to the purely investment cost, and then very often Norwegian companies are losing on that. That's a challenge.
Yeah, all right. So thank you very much. It was a great pleasure talking to you today, and an honor. And we have been provided with very valuable information. Thank you very much.
Thank you.